What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a Odd Eyes Mythical Beast deck profile. So let's jump into the deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. We're still going to run our Odd Eyes Art Pendulum Dragon. He's like our main high scale that we're going to want to stick out there. That way we get our Odd Eyes start to plus and whenever they're destroyed by battle or card effect. We're also running 3 of the OG original Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. This guy's just good for making sure that your damage is reduced in battle if you're taking the wrong type of battle damage, if you got him in your pen scale. Also, too, just be able to make sure you get that extra burn on your opponent. We're also running 2 of the Odd Eyes Phantom. That's just to make sure we got another good beat stick for the Odd Eyes and another good searcher. We run 3 of the Odd Eyes Persona. Persona is just, good for making sure you can stop them extra deck monster effects. Being able to put him out there in 2400 defense is good. Being 1200 beater also is good too. But the main thing, you want to make sure that you get that monster effect to be able to stop them extra deck monster effects. We're also running the 1 Odd Eyes Lancer. Odd Eyes Lancer is just a very good beater for the deck. It's going to help you to be able to make sure that your Odd Eyes cards are not destroyed by being able to destroy or send one from your hand or your field to the graveyard. And that can help you out a lot for a lot of your plays and help stall out some plays. We're also still running the Supreme King package in the Supreme King Gate 0 and the Supreme King Dark Worm. This is just a good engine, just all around. Dark Worm, he's going to come out of the graveyard if you got no monsters. He's going to be able to get that low scale search. Also, too, if you have him in hand, normal summon, still get that search. But all around, he's just a good way to keep a low scale in hand at all times. We're also running 3 of our Chronograph and 1 of our Time Gazer. This is just a good package since Astrograph has been hit. It's just going to help you make sure you get a special summon monster no matter what. If he's in your hand of cards destroyed, special summon him. He's going to help you get another monster special summon to the field, and that can help lead to some OTK plays and also some other rank exceed plays too. But also too, just like Astrograph, if you have him in your pen scale, blow him up, special summon your Time Gazer, and just go ahead and get your plays going from there. Another package we're starting to run in now is we're running the Mythical Beast, and this is just all around, good Mythical Beast Master Cerberus. He's just going to be a good rota for your Mystical Beast cards. Put him in your pen scale as long as you don't have another monster in your pen scale. Blow him up. He's going to be a free search rota for you. Also, too, the same thing with the Mystical Beast Jackal King. He's just all around good. Just the fact that he is a Solemn Strike with legs. If you got 2 spell counters on the field somewhere when he's in his monster zone, remove 2 of those counters, you're going to get that free strike effect. Also, too, if he's in the pen scale, when you blow him up, you're going to be able to special summon one of your Mystical Beasts to the extra deck spots. So if you got him, he blows up, usually you're going to search this one, blow him up, search this one, use his effect to special summon this, and that's going to help you get a quick Electrum. And that's very good, and it's a very good little outlet that you can use to go into other plays too. And lastly, for the monsters, we're running 3 of the Mystical Beast Jackal. This guy, he's got 0 defense. I understand that's not very good, but the thing I look at is in the pen scale, he's gonna help you get 2 spell counters. On top of that, if he's in the main monster zone or the monster zone, he's gonna be able to, every time you get activated spell, you're gonna put a counter on. When you get 3 on there, he's gonna help you to special summon these 2 right here. So that's going to help you to get, extra monsters on board, things like that can help you go into other plays. But that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, we'll run 1 Foolish Burial. That way we can get that Dark Worm into the graveyard as fast as possible. We want to be able to make sure we can get some plays going and help you to establish a board as fast as possible. We're still running 2 of the Summoner Arc. Summoner Arc is good just to make sure that we can get to that Arc Pendulum as soon as possible. You don't want to get it in, you don't get that high scale in there, that way you can start getting to your plays that you want to get into. We're also running 2 Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance is a good card. I don't want to run it at 3 because 3 has just always been bad for me. You always end up getting it in hand when you don't want to. But 2 of them is good enough. You're able to get the monsters that you need and without having the restriction of just the once per turn effect. So it's very good. We're running really probably one of the best searchers all around, to be able to get your odd eyes that are level 7 or higher to your hand as fast as possible. Also, too, to be able, if you have an odd eyes card on the field, to be able to destroy your card with this card is also very phenomenal. We're also running 2 terraforming. We bumped this up to 2 because we want to be able to make sure we can get those spell counters on the Mythical Beast, and that can help out a lot in order to extend plays and help to generate plays for later down the road. And the terraforming is to help us to search out our Sky Iris. Sky Iris is the main field spell that we want to go into to help us to pop cards, to generate more advantage, to help us to get, you know, our odd eyes cards to hands that we need, and also help to put counters on our Mythical Beast. And lastly, for the extra deck, our main deck, we're running 1 Odd Eyes Fusion. Odd Eyes Fusion is, to me, is still a very good card. The fact that if your opponent has too many monsters out there, you start sending stuff from your extra deck for free, pretty much, and just get a free Vortex for nothing. But it's just all around, to me, a good card. But that is it for our main deck. For our extra deck, running 2 Vortex Dragons, Odd Eyes Vortex. You know, just a good card. You know, as soon as he special summon, if your opponent has a face-up monster out there, just spin that thing back and just be able to make sure you can start doing damage on your opponent. The main thing is he's got that good negate to spin any of your monsters from your extra deck back into the deck and to be able to start plussing from there. The main one I usually like to go into is make sure I target him and spin him back into the deck, because once you use the effect from Chronograph once, you're going to have him in the extra deck, the other 2 is going to be dead. So what I like to do is to make sure that the other 2 are alive at all times. That way I can spin that back in, keep plays generating from there. We're also running 2 Odd Eyes Absolute. This is just good for making sure that you can negate attacks and making sure that your opponent is going to have to worry about another Odd Eyes coming out whenever they destroy it. We're also running 1 of the Odd Eyes Raging Dragon and 1 of the Odd Eyes Rebellion. These 2 are pretty much just fodders, you know, to make sure that if, you know, you use your Odd Eyes Fusion, send one of them to the graveyard and another material. That way you can just go ahead and start generating plays from there. Also, too, off your Odd Eyes Absolute. Odd Eyes Absolute is destroyed. You got 2 more big beaters that you can use for the deck. We're also running 1 number 11 Big Eye. Big Eye is just good for snatch and steal. Make sure your opponent doesn't get too crazy over there. If they got a monster over there that's too powerful, take it from them. Make them get beat over that Biscuit with it. We're also running 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Flare Metal is just good to make sure you can get that burn on your opponent. If you knock your opponent down far enough, to make sure that you can just let them eat themselves up with their own card effect advantage. We're also running 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon, Titanic Galaxy. This guy is just good. We got level 8s in there that can sometimes be a little So if you don't want to, you know, make sure that your opponent's not going to activate that certain spell card, you get them in a certain position where you know that they're going to activate something, put this bad boy out there, and that's going to just say, okay, sir, what you going to do? We're also running a number 39 Utopia Beyond. Like I said, with the Odd Eyes, to me, I just like going for the OTK in the game as fast as possible. But if you want to, you know, stall your opponent out, put as many negates on board as possible, you could change this into a Naruto, and with your Vortex and things like that, you can, you know, start stalling out your opponent with the negates. We're also running 1 number 61 Volcasaurus. This guy's just good for making sure that you can get the burn damage in, and also just making sure that you can also beat down the opponent as well. You got all these level 5 Odd Eyes in there. You got your Odd Eyes Persona. Just use him. Just make sure that you're using right, and that way you can burn your opponent and also have a good beater on board. We're also running 1 Underclock Taker. That's because, like I said, once again, you make this guy right here, and just to be able to make sure that, you know, get as much damage in on your opponent as possible, you want to make sure you get the special summon of your Odd Eyes Pendulum right underneath him, and that can really make a really big hurting on your opponent whenever you knock their life points down by 25 and then still hit them with the Odd Eyes card. That can be very hurtful. We're running 1 Heavy Metal Foes Electrum. Electrum, I know, is still fairly pricey. He's not a card that everybody wants to go into, but this card really helps the deck still generate the plays that you want to and help you get the advantage that you really want to over your opponent. We're running 1 Decode Talker because Decode Talker is a generic for the links. You know, he's 3 effect monsters. That's very costly, but when you get him out there, if you made your plays right, you get him out there and he's going to be another negate for you and also a good beater. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running 1 Zephyr Metatron. This is just good because we got the 3 pointers pointing down. Just to be able to make sure we can also make sure that we have enough pin scales so we can keep pin summoning out and put enough pressure on our opponent. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We thank you for your support for the update to the ban list Odd Eyes build. We see that you had the support for that, so we're going to be dropping a budget version coming out soon, so be sure to check that out, guys. Make sure to get this video also to 30 likes, and we thank you guys for all your support. We're out.